I want to say a special good night to all of you. I want to say a special good night to my buddy Pryo. Pryo, good night to you, Petal, Hig, Chef Manu, Diana Cinco, Angus. Angus, good night to you. And the man James, good night to all of you. Pryo, on Saturday we are upstairs the market. Yes, indeed, we are upstairs the market. And I've sponsored $500. The Darts team, they are attempting to raise some funds to go represent us, give us good representation beyond the shores of this country. And I believe once one is making an effort to represent us from a national standpoint, we need to make whatever contribution we can to ensure that they get our support. So in that regard, I'm supporting the Darts team of St. Lucia, and I will be upstairs the market. They are holding rather a country and western to raise funds, and Pryo and others, the Darts Association, have received quite a bit of sponsorship. They'll be giving $100 every hour. Sell by $100. We've seen about six, and your humble servant has pledged $500. So that's the place I'm going to be on Saturday night. So Pryo, good night again. Cinco and Angus, good night, Manu. Saudi Manu. Folks, today is the birthday of a lovely lady whose heart and soul in my view are made of gold. She is a community-oriented individual and always stands ready to assist the less fortunate. It is with great pleasure that I extend birthday greetings to this patriotic St. Lucian, Phyllis Rumus Wilson, who celebrates her birthday today. Phyllis, look at her teeth, man. Look at Phyllis' teeth, nice and white. And Phyllis has space teeth, you know. Phyllis has space teeth. They say when you have space teeth, what they say you have again, black boy? Bag of sugar. So Phyllis, happy birthday, my girl. Good night to you. And ensure that you enjoy it the very best. Enjoy it to the max, my girl. Okay? Now, folks, we're getting into business right away. There's an old saying that those who the gods seek to destroy, he first make them mad. Those whom the gods seek to destroy, he first make them mad. Let us listen to a woman who apparently God made mad, and she disclosed her madness with a rage. Let's take a listen.
I have been trying to follow what's going on in the chat and hearing the discussion in the last 10 months since we lost the election. Let me say this. This party, there are too many hypocrites and too many snakes in the UWP. Too many hypocrites and too many snakes in the UWP. And that is why we lost the election. Alan was busy trying to build a new St. Lucia to raise the standards for everybody. But you know what? Everybody had a personal gripe because they didn't get what they wanted personally. That is not why we elected Prime Minister. Everybody, oh, we didn't get attention from Shas. We didn't get this. We didn't get our ego stroke. We didn't get our pockets fat. We didn't get this. We didn't get that. Bullshit. It's us, y'all, that caused us to lose the election. Flubbos that caused us to lose the election. And I'm pissed. Because while I was up in a freaking Arctic working hard for 2 years, the last 2 years of the election, waking up at 2:45 a.m. to go on a show with Norbert, and there were us seeing what Shas is doing to rebuild the country, to build the country, and to build the country for the next how many years? Working freaking hard. Some of us in this very freaking Flubbo train chat was undermining Shasney. Even people in his own cabinet were undermining Shasney. Ministers sitting down with him were undermining Shasney, and not just Stevenson King. That's why when they call a vote of no confidence, you think Labour Party, you think Philippe was mad to call a vote of no confidence without knowing there were other people who were going to support him? There were other people who were going to support him. They probably back at the last minute. But it's this hypocrisy. We that caused the freaking party to lose the election because the divisiveness. Everybody there about themselves, their self-interest. Self-interest. Oh, they didn't get enough attention from Shasta. They didn't get this, they didn't get that. It's not about your freaking ego. It's not about your pockets. country. It's about the country. You look at the positions you wanted. Nonsense. Is that what we're about? And who are going to come and replace Shas with? Who? Tell me one St. Lucian that can walk in Shas shoes. Tell me one. Tell me one St. Lucian who can put Shas, who can walk in Shas shoes and put St. Lucian on a path to growth and prosperity for the next 5, 10, 15 years. Tell me one. So what you want to do, your endless back deals, your delaying conventions. Andy Daniel, I calling your name. Nikki Isidore, I calling your name. Nikki Isidore, I calling your name because after the election I was in Grozile. And you came there and nobody didn't tell me. I heard it with my 2 ears when you said in my presence, in the presence of Flubos and Labours, you did not vote for Spider. You said you didn't go to the polls and vote because if you had to vote, you'd vote for Baby. Chairperson of chairpersons said in front of Labours that if you had to go to the polls, you'd vote for Labour. You need to be out, Nikki. You need to be out, Nikki Isidore. And every day you sit down in Janine office. Your woman is best friends with Betty Jer. Take your information back to the UWP and Stevenson King. And let me tell you, I'm not mincing words with you all. I call in all your names. I call in all of your names. I'm not beating around the bush and talking parables. I call in all of your names. You're hypocrites. You're hypocrites. You're the people who caused us to lose the election. What's some of us making endless sacrifices and working freaking hard for the party? You're caused us to lose. You're backbiting, hypocritical, snake-like, Judas behavior. You could go and join King and you want to bring King back to the party? And all of this shenanigans, Pinkley Francis, Pinkley knew jack shit as chairman. When Shas was busy as prime minister, the chairman of the party was supposed to be holding the fort. The chairman of the party was supposed to be holding the fort. Pinkley, you lazy as ass. You didn't know jack shit to hold the party and its organizations together, and its structure together. And now you busy undermining Shas? Aussie boy, you that calling everybody saying Shas must go? Pure fuckery in this party. I'm so freaking pissed with what's going on right now. Don't think I'm not going to call it. I'm going to put a picture on freaking blast. You're going to replace Shas with who? King, Steve, Philip Pierre, and y'all. And it'll be y'all and God. Or y'all and the devil. It'll be y'all and the devil. When I see the nonsense in the chat, I'm not being diplomatic again with y'all. I'm not being diplomatic again. I've lost all my diplomacy in this bullshit. Oh, Shas didn't do this, Shas didn't do that. Because even for y'all personally, this is not about what you could get personally. This is about the interest of the country. The country. Shas was busy. The only person who was supporting Shas was Guy. The only person. Where was the rest of the cabinet members? Busy undermining Shas. Ezekiel, you. Ezekiel Joseph, you. Gail, what's her name? Rigobert, you. And as with Shas the last few weeks of the election, Shas knew Gail was under pressure in that seat. Whenever Gail wanted Shas to be down there, he would have been down there. He gave Gail priority. I had to organize Shas' schedule, so I know. He gave Gail priority, and Gail freaking undermining Shas now. Don't think I'm not going to call your name. I'm going to call all your freaking names. Who you're going to replace Shas with? Let me tell you all. If you all want to divide that party for the sake of your selfishness, oh, Pinkley, let me go back to you. Pinkley, before I understood, even before election, you wrote a big check for the Labour Party. You wrote a big check for the Labour Party. You were the chairman of the United Workers' Party, and you wrote a big check for the Labour Party. Huh? If that's not undermining the freaking party, I don't know what is. I don't care who gets vexed with me. I don't need nothing from none of y'all. Nothing from none of y'all. I've never depended on any party to eat. I don't give a shit who vexes with me. Okay? I do not care. I care about my country. That's what I care about. A developmental plan for my country. I don't need nothing from Shas, nothing from Labour, nothing from any government. I'm talking for my country now. So that damn hypocrisy going on in the Labour, in the UWP, I'm going to put all of it on blast. If you want to divide the party further and stay out in the wilderness for the next 20 years, do that. Do that. But I am telling y'all, if y'all see, y'all come there with any sinister plan to remove Shas, to put back King? Are you freaking kidding me? Stevenson King, the Prime Minister who could not even win the election, could never win an election, lost in 2011, lazy ass king. Let me tell you, I was never a king person, never. I saw that guy, I saw straight for king. And now you want to come and impose King because King wants to come back. That's why he's still wearing blue, the blue wave, and he embedded flavor. That's who you want to come and impose because you're thinking through King you're going to get your way. So King and Richard and Betty and Angel are going to come back to the WP. What are you all thinking? Are you all mad? Let me tell you, the day that happened, I giving your licks. I will be giving your licks. I'm telling you. Don't even think about that. And you better not send my voice note anywhere, okay? Make sure it stay in that Flubbo train chat. Make sure it stay there. Don't send my voice note anywhere. Too much hypocrite in that freaking UWP.
Hi. Good night, my sister Bertie Lydia in New York. Yes, yes, Frances. I got the message, sis. I got the message. Hi. Wee. Anne-Marie Turner in Dallas, Texas. Good night to you. Dr. Tekla Louis. Good night to you. Louis, sorry. Good night to you. Beverly and Rufus Andre. Celebrating 14 years of marriage on Tuesday, May 31st. Good night, Gaffel. Miss Juliana Master Wong. Good night to you. I understood that your birthday was yesterday. Florent will say, Sasho, we show you do. Zanik in Millet. Good night to you, Nigel St. Clair. Bolo, Saudi. I coming down there after the show, Bolo. Make sure you there. Crush us and see. Good night to you, Brother Lulu. Good night, good night, good night. Now, folks, me never call all names. Me never called all names. Ezekiel, Gail, Ezekiel, Gail, Pinkley, Ozzy Boy, Nikki. She called everybody. So, if all of those leave, the train is empty. See how today batch trainer vidwi. The train is empty if all of them leave the train. You know, folks, now some people are saying that we should not meddle in flabbo business. Let's keep focus. Mary Skelly, good night to you, my girl. Good night down there in Denry. I read your comment. I read your comment. And I Mary, to be honest with you, I kind of agree. But you see, Mary, hear this well. Everybody knows of the old saying, if you live in a glass house, don't throw stones. Time and time again, you hear those UWP hacks. They always say that this current government has criminals in cabinet. There are criminals in cabinet. Personally, I'm good for myself. I am good for myself. But you see, look how the guys have tried desperately to denigrate my colleague, Joachim. Look what they have put Joachim and his family through. They accused him of going to church with a gun when nothing could have been further from the truth. Nothing could have been further from the truth. Joachim is filing a lawsuit against Shastney in relation to his utterances about that. Nothing is further to the truth. Yet, the very people who are referring to people in cabinet as criminals are looking for 5 gunmen. They want gunmen to be stationed at a political meeting. The same people calling members of the current cabinet configuration criminals are busy hunting down gunmen to be stationed at a political meeting. Who are the real criminals, you need to ask? Who are the real criminals? When you tell me, folks, that Guy Joseph, on assuming office in 2016, he went around various locations with not only media personnel, with the police. Anytime you walk with the police, you are signifying that some kind of crime was committed. Yet the persons to whose premises they went were storing the equipment for St. Jude on their premises. How would Guy know so easily? Because it was properly documented. He went around various locations with the media and the police, publicizing the recovery of stored goods, as though those people who were storing the goods and who were being paid, in fact, some of them they haven't get paid yet. Thomas Eugene has not been paid. They were supposed to have been paid for the storage of the goods. Guy behaved as though those people had stolen those goods, and so walked around, chest buffed, media following, police are armed, going and look for guns, going and look for those goods, recovered them, much within public view. Today, where are those goods? Where are the equipment that was supposedly earmarked for St. Jude Guy Joseph? Where are they? So we now ask ourselves, who are the real thieves? Ki company moun ki se real voleur? You know, criminals in cabinet, thieves. But that is daylight robbery. And to date, none of the equipment, materials, the tiles, refrigeration, all sorts of things that cost millions of dollars cannot be located. They cannot be located. So Mary, you cannot let them off the hook. Who are the real thieves? You have to call them out. I don't mean to disappoint you, Miss Kelly. You're a good woman. But you must call them out. Who are the real thieves? Kimun ki se volea, ko se bagay la ki te supposé ale adidas St. Jude, l'hôpital St. Jude. Nou te wè le TV, nou te wè le police te ka try jwen ni, nou te wè komen go truck, ko se bagay sa la ye. You know? Now, how on earth Minerva Ward would open her mouth and say that Chastney is the only person that could move St. Lucia forward? Can you believe this? Can you believe this? Folks, I will not even remind Minerva of what she had said about Chastney previously. I will not remind her of what she had said about Chastney around the 2016 elections. I will not remind her. I will not remind her. But what I will do is to lay down some facts. You know, we are an island of 2 Nobel laureates, the most per capita in the world. Chastney couldn't even say that. Chastney found himself in Asia. And what did he say? We have the most Nobel laureates per capita per GDP. Ça c'est massive. I don't know what that means. In my view, this is a 10th degree embarrassment to St. Lucia. The man did not know the relevant areas, nor the dates that those accolades were conferred upon the recipients. You know? And Shasta is the only a Malmama get exercise tax 1,000 million. I mean, you know, it is that kind of stupidity that sometimes infuriates me, because the insolence is glaring, and it seemed to be something in the DNA of Flabo. They like insulting people. For you to tell me you'll take such an unintelligent man and put him on a pedestal as being the only one who can lead St. Lucia in the eyes of us having two Nobel laureates, two indigenous St. Lucians. You want to put Shasta? Shasta will come in Philip JP a big toe. Not even in mind he could come. The man has a doctorate in unintelligence. A doctorate in unintelligence. A man who took 1,000 acres of land of ours. Thank God for July 26. 21,000 acres of land and gave to a Chinese at $1 an acre for 99 years. 1,000 acres at $1 an acre for 99 years. That's the man who can lead us. A man who gave Lockerbie $32 million to tell us where to plant artificial grass from which you can contract cancer. That's the man to lead us. A man who left $24 million of ours for sandals whilst the country couldn't pay its debt. That's the man to lead us. A man who spent over $100 million on horses when people cannot feed their children in this country. That's the man to lead us. A man who signed an agreement asking T.O.R. King to sell passports, and he's permitted to put the monies in an overseas account, not accessible to us. That's the man to lead us. And in that agreement, it contained the buyback clause, so much so that his co-signatory in Bradley said he never read the agreement. It was just given to him to sign. And after signing, he realized that the terms and conditions were against St. Lucia. That's the man to lead us. A man who gave Ernst & Young pretty close to $50 million to assist in preparation of the budget, the budgetary allocations, something that our civil servants have done over the years from time immemorial. We never paid a cent for assistance in budgetary preparations, but he spent almost $50 million on that. That's the man to lead us. A man who gave $7 million to a company that did business with his brother-in-law for vaccines. Never before had they ever procured one vaccine. $7 million to procure vaccines. We got some back. 4.9 or so is still outstanding. We have not received it. That's the man to lead us. Jesus, Lord, man. You know, a man who took our $24 million gift, the abattoir. Ezekiel fought for that. $24 million, the Taiwanese gifted the abattoir. You destroyed it. That's the man to lead us. A man who took the Dahe Mall, on which we spent almost $80 million. You sold it for $13.5 million. And within the deed, guaranteed the purchaser over $52 million in rent. That's the man to lead us. This woman must be crazy. St. Jude is a long story. Where would this man lead us to? If we have any other person who is just like Shasta or even a little better, we're in trouble. We are in trouble. If Shasta was PM, all now so, we are in serious doo-doo. The airport, you found the PPP, everything in place. You broke the agreement, paid a penalty of $3.2 million, borrowed almost $500 million. Today we don't have an airport, whereas we could have had an airport if you didn't do that without spending one penny and without there being any significant impact on our debt. That's the man to lead us, Minerva, man. Are you crazy? Are you crazy? If Shastni had won the last elections, St. Lucia would now be up for auction. St. Lucia would now be up for auction. Folks, it takes a good team at this point. A very good team with an unassuming leader, a talented leader, an economically savvy leader, and a focused leader like Philip J. Pierre to navigate this country out of the financial turbulence that Shastni has placed us. And that's a fact. I mean, it is really foolish. It is really unbelievable that anyone can think that Shastni should be the one to lead us. Lon Phyllis, good night. Lon said, you're right, because nobody can fit in that shoes of dire mismanagement. Lon, yes, you're right, my boy. Dudley, my nephew, good night. Good night, good night, good night. You know, so folks, those are the realities. It is not just to get emotional about Shastni because he's going to do you a personal favor of $20,000 a month. The reality is there. You know, when I heard this about Shastni being the only one, I began wondering whether St. Lucia was an enlarged golden hope. Because all of us must be mad. All St. Lucians must be mad for us to see Shastni is the only one. By the way, let me remind Minerva of Shastni and his unintelligence. Remind her for me, please.
Mr. Speaker, having established the raison d'etre for this government's infrastructure program, as well as the institution of water and electricity supply networks, we'll continue to ensure that we have a cadre of healthcare personnel which is property tax regime to some semblance of normalcy. It is plain sight for all. While we have been fighting, although the gradual recovery number of within the we are, however, the electricity subsidy program of 2008 to 2029. The agricultural sector of taking our stewardship, experiencing resurgences. Mr. Speaker, as a direct in the post-pandemic area, neglect that comprise connectivity through the hybrid of virtual and face-to-face elements will enable us to do just that.
It is within this context that this week St. Lucia also reaffirmed our commitment to international law by signing on to the regional
to capturing people and incarcerating them. And I have to say to you as a person, I don't think incarceration is a solution to crime. This incarceration thing.
Promising athletes who attend this academy will receive a world-class education, both in terms of academics and in their respective sporting disciplines. Curricula will be tailored to suit the young athlete. Curricula will be tailored. This entails enactment of sanitary and phytosanitary legislation, or SPS, as well as increasing the effectiveness of the party of least larceny unit for the security of tenure for at least 1,038 households, many of whom fall within the lower quintiles in the lower echelons of the population.
Caribbean amalgamated bank,
Amalgamated Bank.
24,500,000. Thank you. Eastern Caribbean amalgamated amalgamated.
So what I believe you were trying to say is Amalgamated Bank.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, that's the only man to lead St. Lucia. What a shame. What a shame. What a joke. What a joke. You know, folks, so yes, they were so desperate for power. So desperate. They wanted gunmen at a political meeting. Yes. But yet they turn around and call people criminals. They spend thousands and thousands of dollars in Castries Central. A lot of money. A lot of money. The Bajan woman said, Mom, if it's one set we need Castries Central here. We want to get Castries Central. Shasney said, you don't want Richard in the house. You don't want him in government. Mark, let we do what we had to do to ensure that he don't win a seat. And they spent money. Put down my posters. I remember going to I think it was Grass Street, either Grass Street or the Yard, where one of them. And I said, fellas, who put down my posters, boss man? Don't worry yourself. Man have to eat. That was the response I got. Man have to eat. Yeah. Not knowing what was going on. But according to Betty, the fellas put that down with utmost caution. They put it down carefully, and after they got their money, they put it back up. You know, Thomas Eugene said, bro, thanks. All my monies are still outstanding for the storage. Thomas, I don't know where Guy has this thing. We don't know, but yet they call people criminals. They call people thieves. You know, pay thousands of dollars to put down my posters. Certain lawyer called 3 of the guys in Central, bring them at a certain place. You know, thousands and thousands of dollars. Because Richard must be close to government. You know, I was with a certain a member in the high-ranking echelons of the Labour Party just after the victory. And that same lawyer sent him a text, don't let Richard get in. Lord, you know, I don't know, but there is something that I'm yet to find. I'm searching, you know, and I'll find everything. I'll find everything. All the nastiness that was being done, we are discovering them bit by bit. So they paid thousands to put down my posters. And after the fellas got their money, they put them back up. And all of that they did to win an election. And for those of you who enjoyed all the hampers given by Shasney, as you all heard, Betty said she went into a room. The room was loaded with expired goods. Expired goods, folks. Yes, you all heard me right. You care about people. You love the people. You want to do everything for the people. But what do you do? What do you do? You take expired goods and give to them. And those are the people you care about. You claim to care about them. But if you give them expired goods, aren't you subjecting them to some kind of contamination? Aren't you subjecting them to food poisoning? Didn't you care about that distinct possibility? You know, those revelations are simply unbelievable. But guess what, folks? The country is doing well. The country is doing very well. And you know, even 10 pinaires have realized that the country is doing well. And Twatine has reduced it to song. Let's take a listen to Twatine.
Yeah, my people, this one is for the 10 pinaires, and tell them that 10 pinaires could sing California. Kaiso. Welcome to govern. Philly is the best. Right now the country is making progress. We're not going back to no stupid man. Tell Alexa Snake, stay with his cocoa rum. Philly put 1 million in the disperse fund. Tell me, what better than that? Snake, what better than that? Housing project already over 10 million. Tell me, what better than that? Mangal, what better than that? Saturday internet and British Prime Minister. Tell me, what better than that? Ring the bell, what better than that? Kaiso. So much money they waste, and less bubble in the place. Treat poor people bad, oh what a big disgrace. Now feeling jail, yeah, putting people first. Forgot my people, we have passed the worst. The National Trust get back their some pension. Tell me, what better than that? Nancy, what better than that? The Rastas can now smoke the marijuana. Tell me, what better than that? Bradley, what better than that? Philip will finish St. Jude Hospital. Tell me, what better than that? Guy Joseph, what better than that? Kaiso. Since they put out this government, Flambeau Arara, they go in by parliament to quarrel with Labour. But Philip J.P., like concern with them, he just working hard to solve our problem. Marjorie happy, she get lent on plenty money. Tell me, what better than that? Spider, what better than that? School children will get all the laptops again. Tell me, what better than that? Nico, what better than that? Bananas going back to England again. Tell me, what better than that? Easy girl, what better than that?
What better than that, Zachary Hippolyte? What better than that? What better than that? You know, I at the end, I want to play that song again. MacArthur. MacArthur. Howdy, MacArthur. How you doing, my boy? I'm good, MacArthur. I must come to Baron Bay and we'll have a drink over the weekend. Frances Robert, Mr. Sugar, good night to you. Merlin Samuel. Georgeville, good night. Pages in New York, good night to you. Danny and Petra in New York, good night to you. Good night to my sisters. I have Bertil, Sophia, Frances, Bia, all of you in New York. Good night to all of you. Sancha, good night to you. Fenella Timothy in the U.S., good night. Petra Edmond in Viewfort. Dr. Katie Francis, how are you, my girl? How are you, my darling? Good night, good night, good night to you. Joan Filgers, good night. Peter the Great in Canada, good night to you. Good night, good night. Trisha in there, so Trisha, you not put Alan on our backs, you know. I tell you that already, you know. So, Pavwe, yes, come, but when we go, Magaba Leba, who made Omede Shasnale Dono. Martin Philogen, good night to you, comrade. Good night, my brother. What better than that? What better than that? You know, I could do that song again before I continue. I like the song, you know. You all want to hear it again? Play that again, man. Give me that again. Give me that again. Give me that again before I continue. What better than that? What better than that? Come on again.
Yeah, my people, this one is for the 10 penis, and tell them that 10 penis could sing California. Kaiso. Welcome to government. Philly is the best. Right now the country is making progress. We're not going back to no stupid man. Tell Alexa Snake, stay with his Kokolo Ram. Philip put 1 million in the disperse fund. Tell me, what better than that? Shasnake, what better than that? Housing project already over 10 million. Tell me, what better than that? Mangal, what better than that? Shasnake in Canada and Pipi's Prime Minister. Tell me, what better than that? Ring the bell, what better than that? Kaiso. So much money they waste, and let's bubble in the place. Treat poor people bad, oh what a big disgrace. Now feeling jail, yeah, putting people first. Forgot my people, we have passed the worst. The National Trust get back their some pension. Tell me, what better than that? Nancy, what better than that? The Rastas can now smoke their marijuana. Tell me, what better than that? Bradley, what better than that? Philip there will finish St. Jude Hospital. Tell me, what better than that? Guy Joseph, what better than that? Kaiso. Since they put out this government, Flambo Arara, they go in by parliament to quarrel with Labour. But Philip J. Pierre, I concern with them, he just working hard to solve our problem. Marjorie happy, she get lent and plenty money. Tell me, what better than that? Spider, what better than that? Spiritual will get all the laptops again. Tell me, what better than that? Nico, what better than that? Bananas going back to England again. Tell me, what better than that? Easy girl, what better than that?
Yes, what better than that? Madri get land and she get plenty money. What better than that, Madri? What better than that? Miss Madri, good night to you. Good night to you. Good night to Miss Madri. Good night to Julian Charles, Kisha Edwin, good night. Trenton, the tailor, best tailor in town. Marcus Edwin, good night to you. What better than that, Marcus? What better than that? Tamara Barrow, good night. Teresa of Wapatat. Miss Pam, boss swear. Sissis Dudu, good night to you. Jordan, Jeff George, good night to you. Good night to everybody. Folks, yes. So Twatine said there is nothing better than that. This country, like I said, is in good hands. But what runs in the DNA of the Flabo supporters, I really want to know. I really want to know. I don't know what is happening to them, Angie Kedu. I don't know, Angie, what's happening to them. I don't know. But the country is in good hands. Minerva said it's only Shasne, Shasne that could run the country. And you all heard him, you all see him. You all have heard of his misdeeds financially. And in her rant, Minerva mentioned everybody, including Pinkley Francis, the ex-chairman of the United Workers' Party. Now, Pinkley, you are my friend. But, bro, shame on you, bro. Why? Let's take a listen to Pinkley, folks, as he responds to Minerva.
Minerva morning, I heard your voice note, and to say the least, I'm extremely disappointed in you, because one, to attack me as somebody who took over the helm of a broken party 6 months before a general election. Ozzy Boy was the one who ran the party for 5 years, okay? Last minute, they gave me something that was completely broken, and as much as I agree with you 100%, the party lost because of within. I said over and over that it was the water inside that will sink that boat, not the water on the outside. You heard it. Everybody heard it, because I came in and I knew it. It was not my forte to bring that thing together. That was completely broken, okay? But then you would want to attack me as lazy. Let me tell you, woman, I'm a self-made man. I don't have to rely on no fucking job in Canada to get. You were one of them who caused the party to lose, because you came down, and when they gave you your big position, people were upset. A lot of people, including ministers, were upset, right? Because they have been begging for jobs for the people and they couldn't get it. And you came, have more power. You reign supreme over everybody who was there, right? Not because you were on a show with Norbert on a morning, right? That gave you more authority or more right or more privilege than everybody else. And your shit about I gave Labour Party money. I never gave Labour Party money. Nobody in the Labour Party can ever say I gave them money, right? So you and all your fucking shit about I gave Labour Party money, you're beating your ass. You and all your friends, right, are the one who caused the party to lose, not me, right? And like I said, you are right in a number of cases. The party lost because of all the undermining that's been going on. Now, clearly you're insinuating that I am part of a thing to remove Shasney. I am not. I am not part of nothing. I made it clear. I went back to run my business. I ain't getting involved in that shit. That's a low-life shit that's going on. I'm not part of it. I don't want to be part of it. So keep me out of your shit, all right? I know when I'm a UWP before you. When you're dragging your ass in all the Labour Party, you saw an opportunity in UWP, you jump in. I've been there. I was born in UWP. So all the people who are inside there right now pretending to be UWP, I was born in the UWP. I'm not going anywhere. I am there, okay? All right? So don't put me in your shit, Minerva. I have no problem with you, but just be careful what you say, because I don't attack nobody. And to add exactly how I felt about the party, it's on record with Janine when she came and interviewed me. How could you go into an election with a divided party, right? People, not only Steve, I was calling people to come on platform and go on the talk shows and they wouldn't go, right? You could not have won with a divided party, okay? I made it extremely clear. I made it extremely clear on record how I feel about Alan, okay? My position is, Alan is too big for this shit. Let these low lives go and sort out themselves. When they want him, they'll call him back. You should go and play golf and let them sort themselves out, okay? Because he's degrading himself by being among this. And that's exactly what I did. I'm too busy to go and get involved in shit. And keep my name out of your shit. I'm not interested in your thing.
You know, Pinkley, shame on you. Shame on you, bro. But no shame on Jermaine Preville. No shame on Fitzjohn. Good night to both of you. Pinkley, shame on you. No, bro. No. Alan is degrading himself by being among the people. You know, wait. Is this something that runs in the DNA of Flabo supporters? I really want to know whether that runs in the DNA of Flabo supporters or persons associated with the United Workers' Party. Shasney sat in a room and in the presence of Gail Rigobert, who has achieved a PhD in her educational pursuits, will sit there. Shasney was not even prime minister, would say, all of you must submit. And they said absolutely nothing. Shasney turned around and called us beggars, mendicants. He called us backing dogs. He called us jackasses. When he says everybody must submit to him, and calls us rather by all those derogatory terms, he's attempting to show that he's bigger than us. He's superior to us. And indeed superior to the average St. Lucian. And when I hear Pinkley explicitly endorsing it by saying Shasney is degrading himself by being among St. Lucians, it is heart-wrenching. It is. It is. Pinkley, a man born in the countryside, a man who grew up in the hills of Swazel, endorsing Shasney's claim to be bigger than others, degrading himself by being with them. Don't mingle with them. Go play golf. I could not believe it, folks. I could not believe it. But worse yet, what is even worse, Pinkley referred to other United Workers' Party members and supporters as lowlife. No, man. Does that run in the DNA of persons who find themselves in a superior capacity insofar as the hierarchical structure of the United Workers' Party finds itself? That you up there and we look down on you? Low life? Come on, man, Pinkley, man. Come on. That is totally unacceptable. And I do believe you owe those supporters and members of the United Workers' Party an apology. And you know, folks, that's the very same way Shasney thinks. That's the same way he thinks. That I will use those lowlives to gain political power and then discard them when I am done. No, man. No. You're supporters of the United Workers' Party. I don't know what other name by which you'll have to be called Puzon Santima. I don't know. I don't know what they have to call you all again to stand up and to demand apologies. I don't know. You all have to stand up and say enough is enough. Lowlives voting for a man to give him prime ministerial authority? Come on. Do you see yourselves as only tools of empowerment? Do you only see yourselves as a vehicle that Shasne can ride to prime ministerial territory? C'est ça zot ye? Bouwik, pour Shasne mouter les os, pour ride pour yve Ador Chesky premier ministre? C'est ça zot vaut? Et qu'a crié zot low life? No, man. No, 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 no. And Pinkley went on to say, don't mingle with those lowlives. Go and play golf, and they will call you when they need you. Come on, Pinkley. Wow. Folks, this is just so pathetic that it's unbelievable. Go and play golf, and the lowlives will call you when they need you. You know, folks, UWP has been characterized by lies and deceit. Lies and deceit, name calling, insults, etc., etc. Is lie after lie after lie after lie after lie. Richard Frederick drove out of a meeting. He almost hit somebody. Ça n'a jamais fait. Richard Frederick was detained in England. Ça n'a jamais fait. You know, it's just story after story after story. And they are so stupid. They make up stories that can be easily refuted with evidence. They make up stories that can be easily refuted with evidence. Breaking news, Philip JPF fire Richard. All kinds of foolish things. Yesterday somebody sending me something on the Flabo page that I'm associated with. Dax is associated with a company that makes. You all want to publicize it? Let me publicize it for you all. Put it up for me. Look, how much is the security company which is owned by Richard Frederick Bestren is being paid to under the local government? Sources of the government have indicated that the company is being paid $100,000 a month. If this is so, isn't a blatant conflict of interest? And they put a nice picture of me. $100,000 a month. Zot power zot ka mati twop. Y'all tell lies that are so, they're so blatant. Y'all want it publicized and publicizing it for y'all. $100,000 a month? Conflict. Y'all know what conflict of interest is? I'll tell you what conflict of interest is. Where do I start? Where do I start? Conflict of interest is where Alan Shastley, Prime Minister of St. Lucia, rents 5 offices from his father, Michael Shastley, and if anything happened to his father, he becomes the beneficiary of his own decision. That is what conflict of interest is. A prime minister rented 5 offices from his father. Conflict of interest. You want to know what conflict of interest is? Go in and look for Ojo Labs as prime minister and your wife is their lawyer. You all want to know what conflict of interest is? Our vaccine money, who was it given to again? Tell me. That is what conflict of interest is. You know, conflict of interest. I don't have time for security business. Man tapusa. I don't get involved in that. I don't even want to. Dax is not even involved in that. It's his partner Benny Chitoli. I have no Zot Pagatan. Y'all wanted it publicized, I publicized it for you. 100,000 a month. You know, at least say 5,000, 10,000. Put the thing a kind of way. Now, if I am making that claim, I will produce a receipt from the treasury. I will produce a receipt from the treasury, so there is no room for challenge. $100,000 a month. Your assertions are so blown out of proportion that no one can conceivably believe you guys. Why? Zot connect materialize and deceit. Richard had a stroke, he's not talking. Amen. When will you all stop? When? You know, Zotpaga, and you all have the audacity to talk about conflict of interest. You all know what that means. You all really want me to talk about conflict of interest? I will take a whole show and deal with conflict of interest here. I will deal with it. When Alan Shastney acquired that hotel, what's the name again? Caribbean Jewels. When he acquired it, the registered secretary of that hotel was a company owned by Nicholas John, who was a high-ranking member of the United Workers' Party. You all know about conflict of interest? By security, conflict of interest. Say Ojo Labs killer. 100,000 a month. Ask Shastney how much his father makes from government. I wish it were only 100,000. I wish. You know? Crap. Nonsense. Come with substantial stuff. You all can look at it. When you all put me in a fight, put me in a big man fight. And I just give you all a cuff and I blow you all away. And when you all want to publicize it about me, send it to me, I'll put it up for you all. Anything you want to publicize that is adverse to my interest, send it to me. I will publicize it for you. Foolish. Nonsense. Security. Now, mind you, folks, when I saw that, I called Benny. I said, Benny, you may say, I wish. Benny told me that 2 of the contracts he has with government, he got them long before this administration. He got them under Shastney. So go on a Shastney. Debunking. Now, that is what I'm going to do. I will get Benny contractual documents with the dates and I'll put them up. That is how easily I blow you all away. You all are not tactful in how you all come. You all just make statements. When I show the contracts that he now has were under the former administration, what do you see? How do you plead guilty? Too stupid, man. Too stupid. Folks, we're going for a break. When we come back, lots more. They say we making tikai, landing digger, we coming to you.
You're watching MBC. The winning numbers for the evening draw of Thursday, 26th May 2022 were Tic-Tac-Toe, 5, 6, 7, 8, 18, 20, 21, Big 4, 4, 5, 6, 6, Big 4 multi-acts, 2 acts, Pick 2, 6, pick 2 multi-acts, 3 acts, 1 off, 5, 3, 5, lucky 3, 6, 5, 5, lucky 3 multi-acts, FP.
You're watching MBC.
Why are you suffering from aches, pains and illnesses? When there's help for you. At Health Service Center, we offer a wide range of treatment that has been scientifically proven to help you with your aches, pains and illnesses. Our ICT machine is one of the most effective devices in the health field. It has shown positive results in many health problems such as back pains, shoulder pains, migraine headaches, pain in the knees and legs, poor circulation, arthritis, diabetic neuropathy, numbness in the feet, strokes and sports injuries. ICT, repairs, rebuild, the power to heal, the future of pain relief.
Real estate transactions are now made easy. Whether buying, selling or renting residential, commercial, industrial, agricultural or touristic property, we offer the best deals in real estate transactions with professional support including valuation, material sourcing and construction. Contact Ed Harris and Associates, your courteous and efficient real estate agents. Call 485-1456 or email caribbiz@gmail.com.
My name is Martina. I would like to say thank you to the guys from Paddy Access, especially Jermaine, for a job well done. I called him 2 days before my brother's funeral to do a live video and I was not disappointed. He was professional and kept in touch with me throughout the live, just making sure I was satisfied with everything. I would definitely use Paddy Access again, and I highly recommend that anyone looking to do a live video to hire them. Everyone who watched my brother's funeral had good things to say about how much of a good job the videographer did. If you want satisfaction for your money, Paddy Access is the way to go.
It is well known that diseases like diabetes, high blood pressure, and other illnesses may restrict blood flow, which can lead to impotence and erectile dysfunction. This is why Enhance was formulated to meet these challenging health problems, which can reduce your ability to perform. If you're having problems maintaining your manhood, then reclaim your manhood today with Enhance. Enhance increases your energy level, boosts your stamina, and increases your endurance.
Enhance can be purchased at Citygate Bar, the CDC opposite the market, Dexter's Car Wash on Chaussee Road, Plants Place on the Dennery Highway, Arlette Supermarket in Soufriere, the Release Stress Bar on the Labrie Highway, and Cool Joint Bar in Victoria, Choiseul.
You can get your Enhance at Prio's Bus Stop 22, next to the Moshi Bus Stop, opposite the Gurzile Bus Stop. Prio's Bar and Grill in Corinth, Gurzile.
Enhance, the best a man can get.
This Saturday, May 28th, come out and support the St. Lucia National Dance Association as they present a massive country and western and back in time party. It's all happening upstairs the Castries Market from 6 p.m. with music powered by Fly Sounds. Also featuring the country therapist DJ Steve and St. Lucia's #1 country and western DJ, DJ Tim Tom. Lots of prizes to be given away, including $500 in cash, sponsored by Richard Frederick, a $400 gift voucher, compliments Big Chef Steakhouse. $100 goes out to the best dressed couple, sponsored by Prio's Auto Repair Workshop. Not forgetting $100 every hour from 9 p.m. to midnight, sponsored by Prudy's Escape Restaurant. A necklace, compliments Harry Edwards Jewelers, and $100 gas voucher, sponsored by Cool Breeze Gas Station. We got a fully stocked bar this Saturday upstairs the Castries Market. Come support this fundraising event as this aids the Dats team to represent our sweet country St. Lucia at the 23rd Caribbean and American Dance Cup in Jamaica later this year.
Thanks for staying tuned. Let me just give a shout out to a couple people. First and foremost, Black Boy, somebody asked me to tell you it is time to change the theme. They don't want to see those people on the TV again when I'm coming on. Now, folks, my father used to tell us that's a death warning. As though you're supposed to go deaf. That's a death warning. I'm giving you a death warning on TV. Yeah, we'll change the theme. Mikey, Palton, Kevin, and Jermaine, good night to you guys. By Mike is buying the CDC. Joyce, Lyra, baby Bob. I come in Cicero tonight and leave food for me, all right? I come in Cicero, so leave something there for me. We have to pass and check Etchi, Lyra, so don't worry. Teacher Fifi in Babuno, good night to you. So, Teacher Fifi, Mimi never could there, Easy Kelly. I got to pull you. Virginia Albert, good night to you, my doodoo darling. Good night. I want to say a special good night to Mrs. Sewak, Juliana Sewak, Lily. Your birthday is coming round the clock. Let me see if we get when it is again. It's on Tuesday, it is. Patrice, when is her birthday? Her birthday is tomorrow. Okay? So all your children, Patrice and all of them are saying good night to your husband, Leonard, saying good night. And happy birthday tomorrow, Lily. Lilia, I might come and see you, I'm not sure. Pinky Pin, good night to you, my girl. Good night. I'll see you tomorrow. I'll be in office tomorrow. Felbert, FL Dread, good night to you. Uris in Rose Hill, good night. Lucky Albert, good night. Uris, mother-in-law, Sagafet. Mostin, Saudi Afua. Special good night to Jackie and Miss Sidoni in the CDC. So, folks, you know... Why, lies and deceit on show. Oh yes, Big Mama, Lucky, put up that flyer for me. Put up that flyer. Big Mama presents karaoke. So I know all the Sewaks will be there for sure. Black Boy will be there. I will pass there. Lucky will be there. Big Mama will be there. You know, the whole crew will be there. Brett will be there. Who else? Black Boy. Who else? Ezra will be there. Who? Dax will be there. Nikki Isidore will be there. Nikki Cauldron will be there. So yes, we'll be there on Friday and Saturday. We upstairs the market. I want a friend of mine to win my sponsored $500 so they could buy me a drink. So Big Mama, see you and Lucky on tomorrow night. Okay? All right. So yes, folks, we were saying, Daniel, that's part of, Daniel sent me a message. Somebody asked, when is the snap elections? Not knowing that it's in my script to be dealt with in a while. You know, folks, I mean, at the end of the day, I don't understand where those guys manufacture lies from. If there is a factory manufacturing stories, the flubbo hacks are the persons, the custodians of that machine. You know, because all they do, you come mati because you arara. Then, you know, folks, the land in Diga. I was out of the island. I got a call and I recorded something quickly and sent it for dissemination to the media houses. And in that voice note or in that script, I indicated that Shastnik could have compulsorily acquired the land and avert the disaster that happened in Diga. Rather than remaining mute, because sometimes it is better to remain quiet than to open a can of worms. And flubbos always open a can of worms. Y'all are looking at me and talk about conflict of interest. when Chasney epitomizes what conflict of, sila no ba ikwe conflict of interest, gade Chasney ukay way. You know? Y'all are always opening something so somebody could drive right through. And the hacks was saying that I was misleading the public. And they posted it on social media that I wanted Chasney to seize private lands. You know, if you call compulsory acquisition seizing lands or seizure, he seized a hotel called Caribbean Jewels. He seized land in Viewfort to build a Hyatt. He seized land in the Shock Gap, and 2 days after his brother-in-law had plans presenting to planning. He seized land belonging to Agnes Francis up Mondido, behind the graveyard. I told the guys they could plant food on it. Yes. Why did he do it? Indebtedness to the Inland Revenue Department. He seized his own lands for the Grosile Highway. And the list goes on and on and on. Y'all idiots. Y'all are behaving like fools and y'all always open the door. All Chasney acquired the most, he had the most compulsory acquisitions in the history of any government for any one term. He had the most direct awards in the history of any government for any one term. He borrowed the most money for any government in any one term. Talk about I want the man to seize private lands. You know. And folks, at the time, I spoke about what Chasney could have done to avert that disaster. I did not even know that the advice I was given was attempted as far back as 1996, 26 years ago. The exact thing I said, that Chasney should have compulsorily acquired the land, that was attempted 26 years ago, but those unintelligent hacks, those 43%ers, those, what you call them, pinkly lowlives, I will not call them that. Richard is asking to seize private lands. Y'all are idiots of the highest order, you know. Those hacks have no shame, you know. I never even knew that. At the time, I said this is the way Chasney should have gone. And when I got the judgment, folks, the judge, in writing the judgment, found it necessary to mention the fact that there was an attempt to acquire those lands 26 years ago in 1996. Let me show you that paragraph of the judgment. Could you put up the paragraph of the judgment for me? Here is a paragraph of the judgment of the recent demolition of the houses in Diga. Here it is. In March 1996, the government published in the St. Lucia Gazette a notice of intended acquisition. The hacks, oh, Richard misleading the public. He wanted them to seize private lands. Idiots, fools of the highest order. And looking right in the judgment, a notice of intended acquisition under the compulsory acquisition ordinance in respect of all the appellant's lands. That is the 12 acres referred to in paragraph 1 above. Between March 1996 and April 1997, there seems to have been considerable communication between the appellant and the government of St. Lucia on the subject of acquisition of the land. In 1997, there was a general election in St. Lucia and the government changed. From that time, there seemed to have been no further interest by the government in the acquisition of the occupied portion. What more can I say? That is the exact thing I said Chasney could have done. The hacks claim I was misleading St. Lucians. The hacks claim I wanted Chasney to seize private lands. Yet, the judge found it as a fact and found it necessary to refer to it in the judgment. You could take it down. This is what the judge said. This is what the judge found. I did not say it. You know, I want Chasney to seize private lands. If Chasney wanted to help, he would have helped. The people went to him. He could have acquired the land, and at the time the matter was determined, the court would have said the property has been acquired, and therefore the proceeds of sale belong to so-and-so, whom the court finds to have been the rightful owner. That's what the court would have done. I wanted Chasney to seize land. I'm misleading the public. I am trying to fool people. Chasney knows very well why he did not acquire those lands. He knows. Because the people went to him long, long ago. And I'm hearing a fool talking about, oh, if Chasney was there, he would do a land order. You know, folks, Noah in your one. Noah 43%. No. Let nous coûter ces qualités moun sa qui ka parler ou qualité bêtises comme ça. You know? Chasney do a land order. What's a land order? Qui sa yo ka kouye a land order? Jesus. I'm hearing, oh, Chasney was there, he would do a land order. The people went to him, he was there, he could have compulsorily acquired, you know, lies and deceit. A land order. Kisat haye. You know, all those people do are just, you know, lies. And the sad thing is, the more ignorant they are, the more delusional they become, because they listen to more ignorance which they believe is the truth. They listen, they already in the no, they already don't know anything, but they listen to foolishness that make them bigger fools. Bigger fools. Breaking news. I just got a call, breaking news. Fortuners on a rose, which was listed as a missing person, has been found. Fortuners on a rose, which was listed as a missing person, has been found. Investigations reveal that fortuners, I rather suspect without the rose, whether ite bel ebe pabel, fortuners, sans rose la, ki rose la te bel, ki pabel, called the radio station recently. So a voice was heard, fortuners and a rose, got her voice back. But reports indicate, however, that anywhere she sees Philip J. Pierre, she quickly conceals her identity, leaving not four tuners but two tuners and no rose, showing fair that believing it is election day and that she will be beaten to bits again. So fortuners and a rose depuis where Philippe J.Pierre, il a quitté des tuners there, il a dit c'est des tuners because il a quoi aujourd'hui c'est election. But folks, we regret to announce, however, the death of her doctrine, the death of the Belrose doctrine, having been badly beaten, the Belrose doctrine is now dead. And it leads to mourn somebody Philip J. Pierre likes a lot. A young man whose name is Githbove Bradley and Shastney, alias, don't do them like they do you. So yes, the Belrose doctrine is dead, and left to mourn is a young man that Philip J. Pierre likes a lot. His name is Githbove Bradley and Shastney, also known as Don't Do Them Like They Do You. Philip J. Pierre, you're a good man. Fortuna, you want to come back into politics? Are you serious? Are you seriously contemplating coming back in this arena? Are you serious? Tandy Flood, good night, and tell them don't call you. Okay. Are you serious, Fortuna? But you know, folks, it is those lies and those deceitful things that cause Flubbo to be where they are today. You know, those lies and the deceitful utterances, the snap elections. Lord have mercy. Snap elections. You all really believe Philip Joseph Pierre is as stupid as Alan Shastney? You all really believe that? You all believe that there is any basis on which you could make any kind of comparison between Philip J. Pierre and Shastney? You all really believe that? You all believe that Shastney actually has a cavity in the space where his mental membrane ought to be, whilst Philip J. Pierre is overloaded? You all don't realize that? A government is in office for 10 months. Today's the 26th, right? For 10 months. The government is doing well. The government gave the opposition a sound beating. The leader of the opposition moved from a 2,000 vote majority to about 600, although a ballot box was found in a car. And as Stevenson King told Shastney, if you had called the elections 2 weeks later, you finish. You're telling me that that government operated in total harmony, no squabbles, no roro, will call snap elections? And you know they have it, their lies and deceit have it. Breaking news. Breaking news. You see, the insults that Shastney levels at the average man, it rubbed onto Pinkley. So Pinkley now calls UWP members and supporters low life. Now I can understand Shastney's insults rubbing onto Pinkley. But one thing I can bet my life on, Shastney's stupidity, Shastney's unintelligence, Shastney's irrationality can never, ever, ever rub onto Philip Joseph Pierre. Zotan? Never. If you all want anything to do with snap, call Mac. Mac will call somebody in Banan. He'll tell one of the fishermen to go out to sea and try to get a red snapper. That's the only thing y'all can do with snap. Okay? Or if you want another snap, go to the old days. Look for a camera. You know they had the Polaroids. And tell somebody, give you a snap. Snap elections after 10 months. Y'all people that claim those kinds of, so weird. One cannot even contemplate that you'd listen to that kind of crap. Or somebody would utter that kind of crap. Y'all people that talk all of that nonsense need a permanent place of abode. The asylum. Because zot fou. Zot ka fou. You know, now those flabo hacks, they have lost every ounce of humanity on the altar of political loyalty. They've lost it. They have lost empathy. They no longer understand that half a loaf is better than none. They no longer understand that a man who's naked is better off with either a pants or a shirt rather than being completely naked. They don't understand that. They don't understand that. Because they have lost empathy. They have lost every ounce of humanity that lied within their being. We repurposed $10.8 million to roll out a national housing program. Every constituency has its allocation. And although I am minister with that responsibility, the Prime Minister has given us, including himself, he has taken the same thing as all of us. All of us have the same allocation. This program was never meant to build houses. It was never meant to construct houses. It was meant to help the poor, the vulnerable, the marginalized, the dispossessed, those who live in deplorable conditions, to assist them with repairs. But the sad reality is this. There are situations where the conscience of a rep is touched, where his heart can no longer tolerate what he sees. There are situations where you touch a house and it falls apart. You can't repair it. So you have to rebuild. Now, how can you rebuild a house for a man who sleeps under a boat in the Daito in Dennery? He sleeps under a boat in the Daito in Dennery. You build him a nice little structure, but to those who lack empathy, to those who deliberately devoid themselves of any an iota of humanity, they would criticize. Not because they care about this person who now has a place to call home, but because it is not their government that did it. So when one is homeless and he sleeps under the market, you have to build him a mansion like my home, my house. Folks, I became a lawyer, and I'll tell you all this, lies on this. This is what I have, this is what I'm building. They ban in your work. I didn't get my house for free. I was called to the bar in 1994, 28 years ago, and I started my house then. So if we were to do before and after pictures, do it 20, 28 years ago and now, you'll see the same thing. The only thing is my house is always in top shape. I am in construction. My workers are there 24/7. Any little something I see, we work on it immediately. My house looks brand new. But don't take my house and put it on TV or put it on social media and compare it to something somebody gets for free. Okay? How can you build a mansion for a man who sleeps in the boathouse where fishermen put their gear? What are you rebuilding? You have to build something new for him. And whatever you do is better than the condition from which he came. You know, who feels it knows it, you know. And that's where Alan failed. He don't understand the plight of poor people. When I was going to St. Mary's College, I lived in a little house, rat infested, right behind the health center. That's why I met Joyce, Lyra, Baby Bob and all of them, John and all of them, Etchie and all of them. Living in a little house, no stove, no fridge, coal pot, coals. Going to St. Mary's College, but had to light a fire in a coal pot with coals. All I had was coals. And in those days, I was totally unconcerned about hygiene. So I would take the same bread and put it on the coals and say, well, the heat will kill the germs. With cooking butter. That is how I grew up. I understand what it is. So when those people are given something that they own, belong to them, your people criticize. But who feels it knows it. If you have never read the book, don't dare tell the story. If you are not in my shoes, don't tell me how I feel. If you don't carry the load, don't tell me how heavy it is. Folks, there were homeless men in Dennery, and the situations begged for a little place to call home. And when you get a little place that you can call home and you compare it to sleeping under a boat subjected to the elements, you don't understand there is a big shift. You now want toilet, bathroom, even air condition, you will ask for soon. No empathy. You all don't understand. You all don't feel the plight of those people. You hacks. Folks, I will show you 2 clips, 3 clips. Nemroid, Biscom, good night to you. I will show you a clip last. Your commentary, I loved it. So I'll play it last. But let me show you, just before the elections, how a man from Dennery was living. And you all will begin to understand that anything he got is 1,000,000% better than the conditions under which he was forced to live. Have a look at this.
Nous sommes confirmés en l'air, nous là, nous pas dans nous no way. Nous ne pas aller pour nous aller pour nous.
So bos la comment on va dormir là?
Non mais moi je vais dormir là, parce que moi je vais dormir là.
Oh, pas voter.
Oui, ça va tout le monde mouvement.
Eka toute la play ay.
Tu vois like a dog.
Mo chak tout si bay sana bo yo.
No.
Oui, gila si takka da se bas ko te to.
Kinong.
Kanjere Christopher Joseph.
Show them the pictures, the photos of what he has now. That's the same man, folks. That is the same man. Show them the other one where they're bringing the mattress to his house. That is the man today. That is his house being equipped with a mattress today. You know? And you all will complain about that. You all will complain about that. And then ask God to be merciful to you guys. The man's roof is open and he has a portion of galvanized directly on top where he sleeps that he calls a bed. No, play that again, man. Play that again. Play that again. Play that again. Play that clip again. Please.
Dadi nous sommes confirmés en l'air là. Nous pas nous no way. Nous pas hay pour nous aller pas nous
So boss la comment on va dormir dehors là?
Oui, moi je regarde la plupart moi je regarde mes allées.
Oh, pas voter.
Oui, ça garde tout le mouvement.
Eka toute la play ay.
Tu vois like a dog.
Mo chak tout si bay sana bo yo.
No.
Oui, gila si takka da se bas ko te to.
Kinong.
Kanjere Christopher Joseph.
Christopher Joseph today. Look at him. Look at him there now. Look at him and compare that with where he was. Show the other pic now. Yes. And of course, Starbatch has sent him, has not only built him the house, Starbatch has sent him, you know, the mattresses on which to sleep. So folks, when you hear those people talking all their foolishness, when you hear them talking the crap that they talk, please, 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 you know, and yes, let me just deal with the toilet issue after. But when you look at that condition that the man lived in to what he has now, we can see the difference. Play the other clip of the man of the Denry Daito for me, please.
Hello everyone, my name is Michael Landers, Chairman of the Denry South Constituency Council, and today I'm at one of our sites where we are building 3 beautiful houses for 3 homeless elderly men. There you go. As you can see to my back, they are all painted in green and white. And you know, many haters are jealous of them. This is part of our housing project which was conceptualized by the Honorable Richard Frederick to assist elderly and the vulnerable in repairing their homes. This is not a housing project. And our good Minister Alfred Prosper saw it fitting to build these houses for our homeless elderly. With me are the 3 recipients who I know can't wait what is handing over. They will now tell us the thoughts on, you know, on a video. Yes, they will now tell us the thoughts, you know, on this program. Simon Silly is here with me now.
Yeah.
Saudi lah boy. Malah mo ko to tikai le pela ma tel ma padna. Matina ka ko le bi. Minister mai di ma tel ma bi mo ko ta sapegi. Mo ka di dai tu, tut mun galon mo dai tu. So Minister ma pa ma, thank you very much my lord. That's all.
Yes, there you heard it from Simon Silly, better known as Jugba, and now we have Michael Nicholas Charles, better known as Coxiol.
Yeah. Maka nation, susah ke jauh lebih tak maka group itu saya buat mengapa sih? Ekmut babe como ele buat buat malah mana saya content avec un vœu de bon Dieu. Ça me hawe, moko vive ali dan, mais ça me hawe il kama mon haïti bon. Ek maman de bon Dieu la faute est quoi? Ek pour un de moi, ek pour un des premier ministre, à son salaire qu'il fait pour les autres qui derrière. Glorifier ça d'aller. Yeah. Merci ça. Merci un peu.
All right, there you have it from Coxiol. And now we have the great Akang.
Hello, sir. Yeah. C'est pour que la habiter là et puis moi là, yo vle ban moi kay là, soye, moi blanc toi dans soye man. Ou ton. On ka parler ba franchement addicta. Allez mon nan. Ouais, monsieur. Ça bon, ça épée. Et moi, ça bon tout, hein. Épée et puis bon. Oh, yes.
Yes, so you heard it from the three recipients. As I said earlier, they can't wait for them to move in. I guess.
You know, folks, homeless people, homeless, they are so grateful, so grateful, but the hacks. And let me just say this, that there will be a common toilet. This project is not completed yet. The guys will be given a toilet and a washroom that will be built so that they can use it. There will be one toilet serving the 3 houses. That will be addressed. But the hacks find the houses from being homeless. From being homeless. Who feels it knows it. I have lived in a house smaller than this by myself. 12 years old. 12. You know, came from Miku, going to St. Mary's. I understand it. I understand. And if I had something like that, I would have been good. So, Stabach, big up yourself. Michael Anders, big up yourself. But you know, folks, I heard a guy from Dennery, Nimroid Biscom. And, you know, whatever he said moved me. I posted it on my page, but I felt I should play it for you to take a listen to a resident of Dennery on the issue of building those 3 houses for those homeless men.
All right, so I just want to weigh in on this issue with the so-called huts that were being built for the homeless in Dennery. And let me ask a question. How many years have these people been homeless? Right? How many of their relatives even took time to give them a place to stay in the house? How many Dennery people that didn't know that Akang was living inside of the boathouse by the bay? Tell me. So now why all of a sudden the people like Micah and the village council decide to help out those old men with a little single thing, family house thingy, well, not family house, a single house thingy for them to put themselves in, you understand, for them to be comfortable and they can live properly, right? Why you have to make that into a labor and flambeau thing? But y'all need to stop that viciousness that y'all have in y'all, you know. Honestly. And elections come in every 5 years. Every 5 years. Elections come in. But y'all are in full campaign mode. Like that making sense. Y'all need to leave people alone. Let people rest. Let the country rest. The division, y'all need to stop that shit. Because only a few of y'all are benefiting from this division. The rest of us not benefiting from it. Understand? And I seen Dennery people sharing that foolishness like they don't know what's going on in Dennery. You all need to applaud these people for what they've done. Applaud the Dennery Village Council under the leadership of Micah. Okay? I'm proud of this brother. This brother is making a difference with little resources. Right now, Akang every day down there. He can't even finish it. Akang every day with his little broom coming and sweep his house. Y'all don't know what that means. So y'all think they're going to give them a mansion for them to go and put themselves in? Y'all their relatives, y'all come together and put together and set up money for to build a mansion for them. Huh? Because y'all need to stop playing with people's lives. Alright? And respect when people come in and they're doing a good job. Because trust me, these people, when they go, you're going to miss them. Because those coming after, you don't know what they're going to be doing. Sometimes they come in and they do nothing. And I applaud the Dennery Village Council for the job that they've been doing in helping the people of Dennery get a little place for them to lay their heads. Right? Some of you are sharing that foolishness and you all do own a house. Some of you all in the US living in 1-bedroom apartments and no issue with that. But they build a 1-bedroom house for the man and you'll have a problem with that. Right? That making sense to y'all? Some of you all even living in Castries in a 1 little bedroom and all of you all in it. But they can't build a 1-bedroom house for 3 old men. Can't get a little 1-bedroom house. Me say, what we really get into? But check yourself with that labor and flambeau thing. Because it's making you all stupid. That is my take. Big up yourself, Micah, and the Dennery Village Council.
Yeah, that was a good piece, Nimrod. That was a good piece, and I felt you had put it quite well. You had enveloped everything that I probably would have said, and so you know, I enjoy that piece, folks. Tonight, sadly, I wouldn't take calls. I've had a rough day. I've had a long day. I'm sure some of you may have seen me live. We had the investment forum this morning at which we had investors from everywhere, from here and abroad. My Prime Minister, myself, and others were there. You wanted to say something, Black Boy? Yeah, definitely. But folks, let me show you under the youth economy what is happening.
Hi, my name is Anna Reese. I am the owner of Naughty and Design. Hi, my name is Natisha Savory. I am the proprietor of C4. Hi, my name is Dinsa Baptiste. I am the owner of Meraki Glow.
Greetings one and all. This is Soya Selassie of Deceptaban.
Hello everyone, my name is Lance, the founder of Project Cocktails.
My name is Nick Wanford, entrepreneur of Jungle Fever Delights.
Inviting you to the Castries North Youth Expo on May 29th under the Cleary playing field. See you there.
At the Leclerc playing field, see you there. Okay, Michael, I'll deal with the other videos probably on my page. But you know, folks, honestly, we really need to remark our gods. I have been a hard campaigner. I have been one, when you play the fool, I call a spade a spade. I did my fair share with Shastny. I believe that he engaged in many financial misdeeds, much to the detriment of this country. I believe it was my responsibility to bring to light all those salient things that would have made a difference in the minds of persons. We came as a government and found this thing in a mess, and thank God we are navigating quite nicely under the leadership of Philip J. Pierre. Things are not rosy, they are not good, but I believe that together, once we hold hands, we can make a difference in the lives of St. Lucians. So, you know, when you are putting things out there, you don't make up a story that is so diametrically opposed to reality, that one cannot even find an iota of truth in what you see. And that is the thing about the Flabos. They say things that are so disconnected to reality. At least if you say there was a house and you see green and white, say something like it was, look for a color close to green and say it was a white house, or, you know, don't say black, because black and green are so, they contrast so widely, you know. But tell a lie that has a certain degree of truth. Your lies and deceits have Richard had a stroke. He's not talking. Where did that come from? I got it a good. I mean, please. And then you'll expect to be credible in what you say, folks. God willing, I don't know if I'll be here next Thursday. If there is a need to, I will. But rest assured that I will ensure that my presence is always felt by you. I will keep on keeping you abreast as to what is going on. But for now, from a very tired body, I am Richard Frederick saying good night.
Why are you suffering from aches, pains, and